You finally got it. The relationship that felt entirely different. The career opportunity you worked toward for years. The version of your life you always promised yourself you would build. And then, slowly, almost silently, you destroyed it. You picked a fight over absolutely nothing. You pulled away the exact moment the other person got close. You made a series of small, calculated decisions you knew were wrong as you were making them, walking away right before it all became real. Now you are sitting in the wreckage of a life that actually could have worked. You are wide awake at 3 a.m., replaying the tape, listening to the echoes of people telling you that you are your own worst enemy. And the heaviest part of that guilt is knowing they appear to be right. You watched yourself do it, and you couldn't stop. You are left in this agonizing void. You know exactly how you dismantled your own happiness. What you don't have is any rational explanation for why. We usually treat self-sabotage as a sign of stupidity, weakness, or some mysterious defect buried deep in your personality that makes you incapable of holding on to good things. But that label misses what is actually happening under the surface. Self-sabotage is a protection protocol. It is a highly rational, deeply logical response driven by a nervous system that has learned very specific lessons about what happens right after things go well. You are not experiencing a glitch. Your brain isn't broken. You are witnessing a biological system executing its survival programming with absolute precision. To understand the programming, we have to look at the data your brain was trained on. In your past, good things were consistently dangerous. The happy period was always the prelude to a relationship collapsing. Quiet stability was just the calm before sudden neglect. Every time you let yourself hope, profound disappointment immediately followed. Psychologists refer to the resulting state as anticipatory anxiety. It happens when a nervous system is subjected to repeated, grueling cycles of hope, abruptly followed by pain. Your brain is a pattern-matching machine. It stops treating positive circumstances as signals of safety, instead tagging them as threat indicators. So when genuine opportunity arrives, your nervous system doesn't relax. It braces for the drop, desperately looking for the exit. That internal bracing, that preemptive halt to your own emotional momentum, is exactly what self-sabotage looks like from the outside. The human nervous system operates on a deeply uncomfortable rule. It will always choose the familiar over the good. Familiarity doesn't mean a situation is pleasant. It just means it is known, and known variables provide predictability. This drives what clinical psychology calls a repetition compulsion, an unconscious urge to place yourself back into familiar emotional environments, regardless of how much they hurt. If your internal model of reality was built in an environment where love was conditional and stability was chaotic, your brain learned to navigate that specific terrain. When you finally step into an environment of genuine peace and actual safety, your nervous system experiences that difference as terrifying disorientation. You don't pick fights because you want to destroy the relationship. You recreate the familiar arguments and the familiar pain because known chaos is vastly easier for your brain to manage than the terrifying unpredictability of lasting peace. To survive this perceived unpredictability, your brain initiates specific mitigation protocols. It knows the crash is coming, so it actively works to limit the emotional damage. The most common defense mechanism is called defensive detachment. This is the practice of keeping one foot out the door. You stay slightly removed, wedging the door half open so you never fully invest in how much this new reality matters to you. The logic is simple. If you don't fully have it, losing it won't entirely destroy you. Beneath that detachment lies a much deeper coding error. Over years of being criticized or made to feel like a burden, you internalized a quiet but firm belief that unconditional good things are meant for other people, not for you. This activates the ultimate defense against intimacy. When a partner or a situation is about to demand real vulnerability, when the complicated, unpolished version of you is about to be truly seen, the fear of an inevitable rejection peaks. So you execute the protocol. You push them away before they can choose to leave. You manufacture the exit on your own terms, guaranteeing you never have to be the victim of someone else's timeline. Here is the tragic irony of the entire cycle. To the outside world and to the people you leave behind, your actions look like self-destruction. But to your nervous system on the inside, it feels like vital survival. The critical flaw in your system today is context. This software was expertly coded to help you survive a harsh, inconsistent version of your past. But you are running that old code in a present that no longer requires those defenses. Because this is a mechanical, learned response, it can be unlearned. You are not permanently damaged, and you aren't doomed to repeat this. When you name the mechanism, you move the behavior from an automatic reflex into the light of conscious observation. Seeing the bracing as it happens doesn't make it disappear instantly, but it does create a sliver of space. In that space, you have the opportunity to pause, breathe, and choose to stay instead of run. Your brain was just doing its job and protect you. And now that you understand how it was trained, you can begin the work of teaching it that you are finally safe enough to let the good things stay.